I actually had my mic off. I was sitting there talking. When did I cut it off? I don't remember. Did I announce the date? I think I was supposed to. I was saying it was December 1st, 2021, and we got 30 left. We got 31 days left of this year. And they're already talking about running next year. With more lockdowns and restrictions. But it's up to you to not take that. And I know I don't discuss that here on the gaming, but I'm just going to say I did my part to resist it today. The doctor's office required masks. I didn't wear it to the... They never said anything to me. But I didn't wear it for 2 reasons. 1, it bothers me. 2, it fogs my glasses up. But 3, it's about tyranny. I do not have to cooperate, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to cooperate with tyranny.
Hey everyone, feels great to have you back.
The mask doesn't stop you from getting sick anyway. It's about whether you will submit or not.
Or the whale.
Now we're going into cyberpunk.
Apparently the Corp figured it wasn't safe in Japanese waters. Afraid some local fishermen might harpoon it for scientific research.
Can't believe we've already got 1 month left of this year.
It's quite the power move.
1 month.
Wonder what Militech will respond with.
Dang, it went by so fast. And the last time I went to the doctor and had a test was February. I couldn't believe I went that long. That's how fast it flew. The doctor looked at it, he was checking to see if I needed to take a test, and he said, you ain't had one since February. I thought, God, that's a long time. I'm not talking about tests, I'm talking about my blood for diabetes. That's how fast a year. We're not talking about, like, swab tests. We're talking about my diabetes. That was pretty bad I went that long. I remember now, I wasn't feeling good that last time I went. I told him I'd drop by, but then I didn't ever get around to dropping by. We're pretty hectic around here. My sister, she works out. And she goes to Ringo to do it. That's where her boyfriend's at. And so, and we only got 1 vehicle, so. We got 2, but the other one is needed some things done to it. It works, it's just that I don't remember if she ever replaced its battery or not. I think it needed a new battery. We only got 1 person that drives anyway right now. We don't drive, so my mother does all the driving. So it's kind of busy around here. That's how I go to the turnbuckle. Her boyfriend's dead, owns the place. I wonder what I do next. Oh yeah, I gotta go to the Oh No Club. Okay, let's see. Don't walk. Don't walk. Don't walk. I wonder if it's don't walk right now. It's red. If she's not careful, she'll be hit. Alright, now we gotta find that whole no club. Oh Lord, it's a sign. Nothing in here.
Shut your mouth, you little shit.
Shut your mouth, you little shit. They're fighting. Shut the fuck up. Hate you? I could have given two shits about you. That's a funny conversation. I didn't realize it'd been that long. Had a new game download. It was one of the free ones, of course. It's called Brawl something. I could go try it out, but I'm gonna play this right now. It was in their Game Pass, of course. Bunch of them free games I don't like too well. I've tried a lot of them, I just don't like most of them. The one I do sometimes play is Fortnite, and I'm not really that crazy about Fortnite. It's not, I don't hate it. I just don't like, it's not one of my favorite games. I thought I'd try it. It looks like a fighter game. You know, I love fighter games. I don't always win in fighter games, but I love them. It's a gang there. Or she. I'll put her gun away now. I don't think she needs it right at the moment. Is that her car tying up traffic? No. Just making sure. It's one of those ugly electrical cars. Now y'all know I did get denied service one time at a doctor. I went to for my feet checkup, and I refused, and they told me, well, they weren't gonna let me back, so I just walked out the door. But now I'm gonna tell you what I did do. I went all over town with my little microphone bullhorn. I rode down the window. I just got denied health care because of this garbage. You better start resisting. I just got denied health care because of this garbage. I am a diabetic and I got denied health care. I started screaming that out all the way back home. My mom was, would you shut up? I said, no, I'm not going to shut up. I don't know. I said I might not do the bullhorn again. If I think it's worth it, I will. Of course, now I noticed that was in Dalton. When I kept doing it, they eventually started standing up and saying they're going to start enforcing their noise ordinances after years of torment. Of course, now I wouldn't do that during those years about the bullhorn. Even though those years it was horrible. Of course, they do get lots of complaints. They really do get lots of complaints. People complain in the paper all the time. The best thing to do is run for office and do something about it. Complaining, I don't even never complain to the paper. I don't even call the police. It don't do no good. Because anytime we did, they just turned around and got hateful with us. Like one thing, he was a bully. He come by and he bullied my mother around when one thing was making a lot of noise. And he come up and he said, "Where you want me to?" My sister reported him. I found him. He was one of those type that I would have thought would have hurt somebody. So I did. I stayed away from him. You know those type that shoot people? He would have been one of those. He was mean. And he was talking to a 70-something-year-old woman, y'all. He was mean. He said, "Soundproof your damn house." He was real hateful. An event, and it was house rattling. Well, we could have sued them. You can sue people big in Georgia for that. Big. You don't have to take it in Georgia. It's illegal. They finally admitted it 4 or 5 years later. They put it in the paper this summer. It's illegal in Georgia. You don't have to take it. Some of the little guys, an example, they use him as an example when you read articles on it. Got tired of him, and he sued him for $16,000. Just for, cause he got tired of him working in the middle. Maybe he would, they claimed he'd work all the time. Like, he'd just go anytime he wanted to, 24/7, and then they sued him. And the person won in court, and he had an injunction against him for $16,000. Well, old man, I probably wouldn't have bothered him. It just depends. Now, if he was keeping him awake, you could see his point too. Because these people, they act like their rights have been intruded, but you have just as much rights as they do. If you want to be on an island, go live on an island, or go out live out in the country if you want to be like that. Don't be around other people. You want to be an asshole. Just saying. I remember sometimes I'm trying to get you to stand up for your rights. That wasn't just making noise to make noise. I would end every session usually. It was better when it was the bullhorn. You can understand the bullhorn better. The microphone works, but it sometimes muffles the words. You need something bigger than that little microphone. Now, I had one that was clear, but this battery got where it didn't work. Gotta find that club. Where is she? Oh, I see the yellow line. What's that dirty place? Oh, she's about to fall in the water. Hey, get out of here. Ain't nothing but bombs here. Where's that club? Did she run? Yeah, that was probably my problem with the other one. I probably just didn't remember how. Yeah, it don't do any good to complain. It never does. Probably your bin would be legal court. That would probably be your best option. Take them to court. If they were that kind of problem to you. Where you can, some places. This state it's illegal. I don't know about other states. The fact that it's illegal, you'd be able to probably win there. If they went over that legal amount that they're supposed to go over. And then if the legal amount was too less, I'd sue the city if it were me. Increase it. Or decrease it. That's what I'd do. You just gotta think of your legal rights. Because you have just as much rights as anybody else. I don't even like lawsuits. I've threatened them a few times. Like I threatened when I was discriminated against. I just didn't take it because of personal reasons. Stuff was going on. She said she didn't back me up. She said I didn't have a public case. but I had a private case. And she said she would have backed me up. That's what she said. She talked with me for about an hour or something like that. And she finally told me, she said, well, I'm going to turn it in. But from what I can tell, because they actually made up, the Justice Department will look at that, that they redeemed it when they finally did give you the tickets. They wasn't going to it first. I said, well, we're sorry. I said, yeah, you are going to be sorry because I'm going to sue you. And they started running. You've heard papers flying. The papers flew in the law office. And they finally coughed them tickets up. They were bleed nose section. And there was a pipe hanging down in front of me, right in my face. But they found some. I said, we rode all the way an hour and 30 minutes down here. Hour and 30 minutes plus from Atlanta here, depending on your traffic. Sometimes it can be a 2 or 3 hour trip if you got a lot of traffic. And I told them it was the CNN and the Phillips Arena Center, by the way. That's where it was. They was together. The Phillips is right there. I think they're talking about it. I don't know if they have yet or not. They was talking about doing away with the Phillips Arena. I don't know. I haven't been down there in a long time, so I don't know if they've already done it. That's where it was at. That was who I was threatening to sue. They ran like the chickens with their head cut off. You've heard that saying? That's what they ran like. What's this? Is that just some old apartment building? Is it her apartment building? Another apartment building? Sure is a ratty place. I wish she'd run in some. Even now I wouldn't be able to go up a bunch of steps. Because I have a little granny cart. I don't ride around with a big wheelchair. I do have the granny cart. And I have to have it if I'm going to be long distance. That's a part of my neurological issue.
Got a smoke, huh?
What's that ashtray? I don't know ashtray. Well, what you could do with an ashtray anyway, could you throw it at somebody? It'd be good if you could throw it at somebody. Hillary threw an ashtray at Bill Clinton one time. When he was being a perv. I heard that on Alex Jones. He used to tell stories like that about Henry Kissinger in the pink dress. Blech. Just imagine that little old schmuck in a pink dress. He ain't really little. I don't think he's little anyways. He might be. I don't know how tall he is. Off with an ashtray. They had to sew his ear back on. Somebody hit him, completely knocked his ear off. She worked with him. That's scary looking sign. There's something else before I run up on him. Oh, are we getting close? Is that it? Is that ho-ho? We'll run down here. I don't really like being on this road though. These roads, they can hit you. Let's run as fast as we can. There we go. Where do you get to the ho-ho from this? Allen South Street. Is that it? Out of bullets. I'm gonna save here. I better not save over it. Let's make a new save. They're getting her. And they got her. And they got her. I'm not really shocked. Guarantee though, if I ever sue anybody, it ain't gonna be about the damn money, it's gonna be about the principle of the thing. If I ever have to sue somebody, it's gonna be the principle. Uh-oh. She's out. She's out. She's dead too. I hate when I get in that situation. I hate when I get in that situation. Oh. Let's try and see if she's got any bombs. I don't even remember how to throw the bombs. Grenades. Grenades. I'd probably have to tie my mouth up, though. I'd get in trouble for contempt. Because the minute the schmuck attorney started in, I'd probably be telling him to shut his mouth. And I read up on that contempt of court. I'd probably have to zip my mouth up. Because I tell people off. I don't hold back. I don't hold back in public. People start suing me, I'll give it back to them. I'm not one of these silent people. I'm not silent. You start cussing me, I can cuss you twice as much. I'm not a silent person. I wasn't silent in school. A lot of times that's what got me in trouble. Said about the view, they'll stop piping off about people that says things they wouldn't say to their faces. They ain't never run into me. I'd tell them to their damn face is what I think. I ain't scared of nobody. My daddy wasn't scared of people. And I grew up the same way. So I took things a little worse than him. I did in access what he did in less. What he did in Miter, I do in access. He never did like it because of that either. And then I heard a pastor actually throw it up. He was telling people, be careful with how you raise your kids, because they're gonna go all out what you did in moderate. That's what he used to tell people. He's right. My daddy'd tell me how bad I was, and I say, well, I might as well be as bad as you. I mixed you with rock stars. That's what I told him. Star Mouse, like Axl Rose and Nikki Sixx and several others. I mixed his attitude with theirs, and I made me. I'm not saying that was a good thing to do. I'm just saying that's what happened. For being an impressionable kid and watching all that stuff. Like we're talking about, I think he used to say I was 6. When the 5 or 6, I was either 5. Then my daddy, and he got a hold of him. I started saying, what you gonna do to him, Daddy? And he said, he's gonna find out here in a few minutes. I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do to him, but he's gonna find out here in a few minutes, and you will too. That's what he said. I said, I don't know what I'll do to him. That's what my daddy said. He just stood there gawking at him. Big old fat dude, big old dude. Big old arms, not fat, but he's big. He's a big old guy. My daddy was a little 5'9" man. And I asked him, what you gonna do to him, Daddy? He said, he's fixing to find out. I said, I don't know, but he's fixing to find out. That's what he said. The old guy just stood there looking. He's an old biker, dude. He's an old rough looking thing. One of them things you wouldn't want to mess with. My daddy messed with him. Of course, the problem was something like that. I forgot what he said. My daddy said, you're going to do what? That's how he done it. You're going to do what? My daddy said. That was it. He cussed my daddy. He said, and I asked him, what you going to do to him, Daddy? He said, I don't know, but him and you's fixing to find out. That's what he said. Yeah, I got it from my daddy. I was scared of nobody. I'm not scared of big dudes either. Most of the time, I'm bigger than them. I barely meet people. Indeed. You know that guy that wrestles in TNA? Good Brothers? He's a big old tall dude. I told my sister's boyfriend, I said, I gotta go over and stand by him. He looks pretty big. And there ain't many people that's bigger than me. You think he's bigger than you? I said, yeah, I know he's bigger than me. Well, go over there and see him, he said. I did. Sure enough, he was way over my head. I usually don't stand. I was tickled. I'm tickled when I find somebody bigger than me. I'll tell you another one that's bigger than me, too. Moose. I love Moose. Moose! I got to meet Moose last summer. Moose! He come to their wrestling company, or that wrestle gym. And I got to meet Moose. I walked up and I met Moose. He was bigger than me too. I don't meet people that are bigger than me. I get excited when I meet a person. I don't get scared. I get excited. Because I'm thinking, oh boy, I'm looking up at somebody. I'm usually looking down on you. If I'm standing. If I'm in the wheelchair now, I feel like a little schmuck. But if I'm standing up, I'm usually looking over a sea of heads. And every once in a while, you'll find the big dude. But you know something? I'm not even scared of the big dudes. I get excited when I find somebody bigger than me. I'm excited to see how big they are. That music is so horrible. I still haven't found that club, and she's out of. I'm just going to have to walk the street. I go. Let me get her car. Where else she gets home? All night, every night. A moving video. Oh yeah, I've seen it before. I love these new glasses. The only font I can't read is that little teeny tiny font over there. Like I can read that, go to the Ho-Ho Club. Monster Hunt. I can't read that little bitty tiny font. If it is a font, is that a line or is it a font? It's right there above the little stuff, like you got that little plus sign down there. It's actually those buttons. You got several. It's the buttons. That's what it is. You see those 3 sets of buttons? I think there. You ain't never gonna find me scared of anybody, and I won't be scared to say something. The only people I don't speak to, and it's because I've got better sense. I usually won't mess with people if I think they're bad people. I don't get smart with police officers. Nice, even when and if I think they're bad, I avoid them. Because it's not because I'm really scared of them. I know if they do anything to me, they're gonna get by with it. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna be the one that's gonna have to be the burden of proof. I got more sense than to mess with some people. I don't smart with police officers. And I don't mess with, like, say, if I see a bad person out there, I'm not going to try to come in contact with that bad person. Now, if they mess with me, I might defend myself. I would defend myself. I'd have to. But I'm not going to be seeking the trouble. But just telling a schmuck off, But that old guy, he started it with my daddy. He told him he was going to shoot our dog. I think he said he was going to shoot our dog. My daddy asked him, "You're going to do what?" And I said, "What you going to do to him, Daddy?" Other family members would remember the full story. I'm going to tell you, I wish I'd recorded some of those stories. Because that was one, the principal was one he liked, the vice principal, the one he threatened to put on the flagpole. Really liked messing with me, and then they give him word of punk. He was an authoritarian punk, is what he was. And that day my daddy threatened, he would have probably hollered scared in today's environment. If he was, like say, if today had been then. But he wasn't scared, I'm telling you. You know what that schmuck done? He's a big old 8-foot tall thing anyway. He got me off the bus because my daddy told him he better not keep me after school anymore. And then he let him drive off and said, tell your daddy I'm gone. That's what he done. Tell your daddy I'm gone. He looked just like Rooney. You ever seen Rooney and Ferris Bueller? That was him. That's what this schmuck looked like. This schmuck was Rooney. The shoes, the suits, the tie, the hair. I don't remember if Rooney's hair was red. This schmuck's hair was red. I call him Tiny Toad. There's a reason I don't name him because I'm talking publicly. But I called him Tiny Toad. But he wasn't no tiny man. He was a big man. Big man with a tiny name. Let's put it that way. He was a little man hiding behind a big man's body, a bully. Is what he was. He was a bully, and he would get awards. I don't know where he's at now. Hopefully he's on his highway to hell. He's got to be old now. Hopefully he's about ready to join hell. I hope he don't call himself a Christian. If he was a horrible Christian. I don't know what he calls himself. I hadn't asked him. I didn't like him to begin with. He's the only one I ever really hated. I mean, I had people I disliked in school. Well, besides the evil social worker. She was really worse than he was. Some people either liked or disliked. And I had several teachers that I loved because of the history that I learned from them. The stuff I learned from them was valuable. Problem is, they probably didn't know it because a lot of times I took it out on them because of the assholes. You know, that's what's so sad. I got defensive as a kid and got in defense mode. You know how I am when I get in defense mode? That's when I'm starting the talking, the bad talking. When I get in defense mode, that's how I do. And I pretty much was walking around because I didn't know who was friends, who was enemies, etc. So I just looked at the whole system as the problem. But when I look back on retrospect and I think of the things that I learned from them people, I count it as a positive experience, even though I had a whole bunch of negative experiences. And back then I didn't know who I liked and who I didn't like. When I become a grown man, I realized which ones I appreciated and which ones I didn't appreciate. And I certainly didn't appreciate him. He'll never be redeemed in my brain. Indeed, even if he's in heaven,
Confirmed. Even reported to MaxTech. Thing is, nobody's gonna show because Militech, you ask me, Psycho's gotta be one of theirs. My Eddies are on Lieutenant Mower. Anyway, Corporal's gonna go straight into treatment. So very, very sure
I don't
you'll
want
keep
to
her
know
in
him.
one piece.
I didn't want to know him when I was a kid. Much less as a man in eternity. I wouldn't want to spend eternity with him. I'd want to be as far away from him as I could get. Lord, I didn't like putting up with him in junior high. He made an impression that lasted for eternity. My daddy didn't like him either. He talked about it up until he died. That and the biker was some of his favorite tales. He had certain favorite tales. The biker was his favorite tale. Wanting to put him on the flagpole was his other favorite tale. Today they'd have got him for terrorist threats though, and now he'd even had the FBI on him. You know, they're doing all that stuff. And that schmuck would really been the one that would need to have been raided by the FBI. He was a horrible human being. I wonder how many other students he bullied around while he was vice principal. You know why he was being the bully though? He wanted to really be the principal. It's it! It's it! I ran into it! Thank you, Jesus! Thank you, Jesus. I ran into it, I'm going to say. I can't believe 42 minutes and I just ran right into it. Look at it. It's the sign. I ran right into it. Talking about that schmuck. I mean, I realized there really was problem childs out there. They really was. But my problems was just being late. Most of the time. And staying out when them people would threaten me. Like when that social worker would threaten me, I'd delirious stay out because she threatened me. I didn't like being threatened. Sometimes, if she made a threat, I stayed out. But I didn't like her authoritarian attitude. You don't threaten. You don't threaten. Oh, I know where this place is. I've been here before.
Feeling a bit thirsty.
Oh.
We fix that right away.
I need some bullets, that's for dang sure. Let's see. When I got here, I know what it was. I just never found the entrance before. That last time. I don't know if I want to buy that or not. Let's see if they got any bullets. Oh, got it. I didn't mean to do that, y'all. How'd I get back? There we go. I done it again. Oh yeah, it's X here.
Want to have a word with Jotaro?
You have a death wish?
Some people say so.
Leave a while you still can. Trust me.
Heard you got a special offer for your more demanding clientele. Recommend anything?
A connoisseur, huh? For you, we got hot BDs. Extra real feel. Any gender, race.
Does he have ammo? He's got the guns, that's for sure. Let's get her a shotgun. Yeah. Or she can get it. Why you swap them? How you purchase? Well, I'm gonna try that new game. I'm gonna save here. She really needs some ammo is what she needs. Well, I done saved outside, so I'm going for a while. I'll try that new game I downloaded. I think it's a fighter game. We'll find out here in a minute. Thanks for watching, the people that will watch us in the future. I know I rattled again. I do a lot of rattling. Try that game real quick. It's called Raw Wella. Fighter. This is the one I downloaded that was free.
Welcome to Brawlhalla Online.
Where am I at? Must have died.
Three, two, one, brawl!
Where am I at? Is that me? Yeah. The jumping one. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's me. They're so small. You know what I'd like to figure out about RPG Maker? How would you get the characters to attack you and you can fight them back without doing those battles? That's the one thing I've been trying to figure out. I'm sure there's a trigger for it. I just haven't been able to find that out of it that way. That's one of the things that stops me because I have this idea about what I want to do in my game. And then I can't figure out how to do it. I could probably just do the battles. You know, there's a game that I used to play a lot, and it's off the PlayStation 1. I can't even think of that title, but it always had those battles in it. Kodalka. And it would have they were like chessboards. What time is it? I might get the PS3 out and boot it up and put my PS1 game in there and play a little bit of that. Kodalka is like that. You know, it's a PS1 game. That means you can play it in the PS3. Where am I at? Is that me? Yeah, there I am. I want to know how to get the characters to come. I can get them to come at me, and I can fake it, like make it come at me, and then I destroy it with a auto move. But I want to know how to actually layer a CPU, and it's attacking you, and you can attack it back. I'd like to know how to trigger that. I just haven't figured out how to do it. And it probably has something to do with those switch things. I need to get back on my game. Indeed, I didn't work on it so long. I don't even remember what I was freaking doing. Remember when I was working on that thing? I failed.
5, 4, 3, 2. Player 2 wins.
Player 2 won. I was number 4. Well, I'm going to call it a night tonight. I'll see y'all next time. I just saw it in the free games and decided to try it. We'll see y'all soon. APS signing out, baby. And if I can't get back online, because I've been having internet issues since October. Since about the second or third week of October, there's been nothing but internet issues. I will post a video to the YouTube, just gameplay, like I did yesterday with my JCBW anniversary of the name, which was JWCW in the beginning. But it was a slip up, and I left the W out of there. I didn't know what to do after WCW, because in the beginning I called it WCW Madness. And I figured WWE would be around forever. But naming it after a show again, I'm going to try to give it my own title so it can go on and exist even later on if something were to happen later on. You know what I'm saying? So that was my thoughts on that. See, when that happened, though, in 1999, that last month of 99, I didn't ever see really WCW going out. I really didn't.